Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namaskaram and welcome to the 9th episode of Śiva-Bodha-Mālikā. Today we are going to look at Parameshwara in the form of Tripurāntaka or Tripura Samhara Murthy. Now, what is the story behind this form of the Lord? Tarakasura was killed by Kartikeya. The sons of Tarakasura, mentioned differently in different Puranas: Tarakaksha, Kamalaksha, Vidyunmali. To avenge the death of their father, they performed severe penance towards Lord Brahma. And when Brahma became pleased with them, they asked him a boon to be immortal. As usual, Brahma told them that immortality is not a possibility at all. Those who are born have to die. Instead, they asked a very unique boon. They asked to be given 3 cities, 3 revolving cities at different levels. One city in the netherworlds, one city on the earth, and one city in the heaven. All the 3 revolving cities, the one in the heaven made of gold, the one in the earth made of silver, and the one in the netherworlds made of iron. And they asked the boon from Brahma that they could be killed only by someone who can pierce an arrow through all the 3 cities with a single arrow. They're able to pierce the 3 cities with a single arrow. Only in such a case could they be killed. And these 3 cities used to never come in alignment with each other. And it used to happen in some thousands of years is when these 3 cities would come in alignment with one another. So, in a very intelligent architectural fashion, they asked this boon of Brahma and believed that no one would be able to kill them, and hence they would be immortal. As a consequence, they started committing atrocities on people, assuming that they are going to be immortal. And finally, all the devas go and plead to Parameshwara, and then Parameshwara decides to put an end to them. He starts on this mission to destroy the Tripura, the 3 cities, or the Asuras living in these 3 cities, with a very unique arm and ammunition. The chariot itself, Prithvi or the earth, became the chariot. The sun and the moon became the wheels of the chariot. Which in a way is true. As the earth is revolving, the different activities on the earth happen as a result of the sun and the moon, as a result of the influence of the sun and the moon. So it is obvious that the chariot of the earth is run by the sun and the moon. So it is very symbolically represented. The chariot, which is Prithvi, and the Surya Chandra, they became the wheels of the chariot. Brahma became the charioteer. Shiva, standing there, had the bow, which was the Mahameru. Mahameru itself became the bow. And the string of the bow was Vasuki, the snake Vasuki. The arrow was none other than Vishnu himself. And at the tip of the arrow, you had Agni. And there are various other devas assumed different positions and roles in this chariot. So this was, in a way, the entire devatas coming together and forming a base or forming a substratum for Shiva to go and kill or destroy Tripura. Shiva goes, and the moment the three Puras align, Shiva releases the arrow and all the three Puras are burnt to ashes. In some versions of the story, it is said that the Devas became really arrogant and proud, that it is because of them that Shiva is able to kill Tripura. So even though all this chariot and the arrow and everything was ready, Shiva did not release the arrow. He just smiled and all the three Puras got burnt. So the Devas felt ashamed that despite all this preparation, Shiva could destroy it just with a smile, and there was no contribution or there was no strength or support that they could offer in this whole mission. So it is said that Shiva still released the arrow just for the appeasement of the Devas. After they asked pardon for their pride and arrogance, he released the arrow on the burnt three cities of Tripura. There is another interesting story which comes in the Tirupugal. As Shiva was going for this mission, it is said that he forgot to venerate Vinayaka, worship Vinayaka before going on this mission. And Vinayaka has been accorded the status of the first Devata and Vigranashaka. For removing any obstacles on the path, Vinayaka has to be worshipped. But Shiva, it seems, did not worship Vinayaka. So as soon as the chariot started moving, the wheels of the chariot broke away. And then Shiva recognized that it is because of Vigneshwara that this has happened, and then he worshipped Vigneshwara and then moved ahead. This comes in the Tirupugai Haitala Niraikani on Lord Vinayaka. Muppuram yeri Shaida Achivanore Ratham Achad Podi Shaida Atidira. Muppuram yeri Shaida Achivan Urai Ratham. Muppuram yeri Shaida, the one who burnt all the three Puras. Achivan Urai Ratham, Achad Podi Shaida. He just broke it down to pieces. Atidhira is how Vinayaka is praised in this Tirupura. Now, this is the story in the Puranas. So what is the symbolism? Tripura, or the three Asuras, represent the three times, the past, present, and the future. When all the three times come together, that means there is no past, there is no future, there is no present, there is no concept of time. When all the time comes together at a single point, that means there is no time anymore. That is the state of Brahman, that is the state of self-realization, that is the ultimate state, where this entire time gets burnt away. There is no concept of time anymore. And Shiva is the one who releases the arrow, because Shiva is the greatest Brahmajnani. Or here we can also assume Shiva as the Guru, the Sadguru, the Loka Guru. Shambho Loka Guru, says Shankaracharya. So Shambho Loka Guru, he is the Loka Guru. So as a Loka Guru, he releases that arrow and makes or burns away those cities of time and destroys the concept of time and realizes the ultimate state. This is one interpretation. The other interpretation is also that the three Puras represent the three states of the individual, the Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti, or the Sthula Sharira, the Sukshma Sharira, and the Linga Sharira, and the Karana Sharira. So all these three states of the individual, or the three Shariras of the individual, They all come together. They all come at one point when the person or the individual is in the realized state, when he is merged with Brahman. When the individual merges with Brahman, there is no concept of the three states, there is no concept of the three shariras. All of them are burnt away. The three could also speak about prarabdha, sanchita, agami karmas. The three types of karmas, which again get burnt away when the Loka Guru, Shiva, releases the arrow. All these three karmas are burnt away and you get self-realization. And you reach the ultimate Brahman. Also in the Shaiva Siddhanta, you speak of Mummalam, the three malas or the three impurities or the three obstacles to sadhana. Anavamalam, Mayamalam, Karmamalam. Anavamalam, the pride, the ego, the ahankara is an obstacle to realizing the Supreme. Mayamalam, ignorance. You are so deluded, you are so ignorant, you just get entangled in the Maya that is around. You are distracted. That is Mayamalam. Karma malam, because of the karma, it keeps on pushing you to do more and more karmas and you get entangled in the samsara, the karma, the prarabdha, sanchita, agami karmas. Action. So all these three mummalams are also destroyed. When Shiva comes as Loka Guru and he releases the arrow, all these three get destroyed and you reach the supreme state, Shivajnana. So these are the various interpretations of the Tripura Samhara or Tripurāntaka episode, where Shiva is standing as a Guru, as a Loka Guru, as a Supreme Guru, and burning away all your ignorance, your avidya, your impurities, all the obstacles that are there on the path to self-realization, and giving you the ultimate state of self-realization. When everything is burnt, what is left is just the ash, the vibhuti, which represents nothing but Brahman. That is why Shiva smears the vibhuti all across his body. Is shown as smearing the vibhuti all across his body because that is the ultimate state of the individual. Individual's existence, ultimate state is just ashes. So that ash is the reminder to say that all of this can get burnt away. Only the supreme state is immortal. So this is the significance behind the Tripurāntaka episode. Now this is represented in various images and sculptures. As you can see on the screen, the left is actually a beautiful sculpture of the Tripurāntaka-mūrti from the Vidyashankara temple in Sringeri. If any of you are visiting, you should definitely look at the beautiful sculptures that adorn the walls of this temple. And this is a beautiful sculpture where all the Tripuras are shown right atop the arrow of Shiva. On the right is another image that is sourced from the net, which is, I believe, a sandalwood carving, where if you look at the details enough, you will find Brahma as the charioteer, Shiva represented as Panchanana, the five faces, the three puras represented as three circles at the end of the arrow. So, and the chariot, Prithvi as a chariot. So all these details are represented in this beautiful sandalwood carving that represents Tripurāntaka-mūrti. Now, if you come to the Attavirāttana Sthalams, the 8 heroic deeds of Shiva, the temples that represent these, Tiruvadigai or Tiru-Adigai. Tiru-Adigai, because of the grammatical roots, becomes a Tiruvadigai. Tiruvadigai is a temple that represents Shiva or that has Shiva as Tripurāntaka-mūrti or Tripura Samhara-mūrti. This is the image of the Ishvara there, where he holds the bow and the arrow. You can see that along with the fire and the pinaka, he holds the bow and the arrow also. And he is accompanied by Parvati, who is known as Hiriyanayaki Amman in this temple. Now there are a lot of connections, there is a lot of significance of this temple, especially in the Shaiva Siddhanta, and related to the three great saints of the Shaiva Parampara, Sambandar, Appar and Sundara. Let me start with Appar Perumal. The story of Appar is that he was born in a orthodox Shaiva tradition, but he converted into Jainism because of the attraction he had towards that mata. He converted himself to Jainism and he became a great guru of Jainism. But his sister Tilakavati was an ardent devotee of Shiva, and she used to pray every day to the Ishvara, why don't you bring back my brother? Why is he suffering like this in the other mata? When will you bring him back to your feet and make him spread this Siddhanta or this bhakti of Shiva across the land? So the Leela happened this way that Appar, he was not known as Appar, he was known as Dharma Senar. That was the name given to him in the Jaina Siddhanta or the Jaina Mata. He was a great guru of the Jainas. He started suffering from acute stomach pain. None could cure him. All the Jaina Matas, various people tried in the Jaina Matas, all of them couldn't cure him. It became so unbearable that he came to his sister Tilakavati and he asked her, is there any solution, remedy to this? Tilakavati said yes, and she took him to the temple of Thiruvadigai. This is the temple where she took him. And she took the vibhuti, the neer, Tiruneer, and she applied it on his forehead as well as gave it to him in his mouth to eat. And in a moment, the stomach pain vanished away. That couldn't be cured by anybody. That vanished in a jiffy. That brought the sudden transformation. And he started singing on the Ishvara in this temple. So this is the place where Appar sang the first Padigam. He got transformed and he sang the first Padigam in this temple of Tiruvadigai. That is why Appar has sung nearly 11 Padigams on this temple. Probably among the most Padigams that he has sung, 11 Padigams are on this temple because of the immense gratitude and devotion he has towards the Ishvara here. Now, if you look at the chronology of the three saints, Appar comes first. Then comes Sambandar. They were contemporaries, but Appar was much older to Tirujnana Sambandar. So Appar came first. Then during the same time, Sambandar came and Sundarar came much later. So in a way, the Thevaram hymns begin from this temple. The first Thevaram hymn, in a way, was sung in this temple because Appar or Tirunavakarasar is the one who started these Padigams, and his first Padigam is in this temple. So that is the significance of this temple as well, and this Ishvara here. Now, so this is also a temple which is prayed for curing all kinds of stomach ailments. Now, what does Appar say? கூற்றாயினவாறு விளக்ககிரீர் கொடுமை பல செய்தன நான் அறியேன் ஏற்றாய் அடிக்கே இரவும் பகலும் பிரியாது வணங்குவன் எப்பொழுதும் சோற்றாதன் வயிற்றின் அகம்படியே குடரோடு முடக்கியிட ஆற்றேன் அடியேன் அதிகை கெடில் வீரட்டானத்துறை அம்மானே. Veerattanathurrai Ammane, have committed so many sins. Kodumai pala seiden naan ariyen. Knowingly and unknowingly I have committed so many. Please accept me into your divine feet and cure me of this illness. Iravum pagalum piriyadu vananguvan eppoludum. I am constantly chanting your name day and night. Even for a second or for a moment I am not away from your name or from you. So please cure me of this and take me into your feet. So he prays this to Tiruvadigai Veerattanathurai Ammane, the Lord who resides in the Veerattanam of Tiruvadigai. There are stories related to Sambandar and Sundarar also in this temple. When Sambandar came, the Lord gave him the darshana of as in a dancing posture. Nadanam is the vision that Sambandar gets in this temple of Tiruvadigai when he comes here. That is why he says in his Padigam, there is one Padigam that is there. He says, Vinda Thodayalan Adum Veerattanatte. Vinda Thodayalan Adum Veerattanatte. So he sees the Lord as a dancing Parameshwara. Sundar had a very different experience. When Sundarar comes here, he knows that this is the Kshetra praised by Appar so much. So he feels, what is there for me to praise the Lord? The Appar has showered his praises and his padigams on this Ishvara. So what is there for me to, shower more? And he just rests outside the temple. At that point of time, he feels somebody pressing their feet on his head. When he gets up, he finds an old man. Then he just goes aside and sleeps somewhere else. Again, the old man presses or keeps his feet on the head of Sundarar. So when Sundarar wakes up, suddenly the old man disappears and Parameshwara appears there. And he says, you also have to sing on me. So that is why Sundarar gets this vision of the Lord who placed his feet on the head of Sundarar. What a diksha and what a blessing. That is why Sundarar, he also has sung one padigam in this temple. He says, Adikkondu yen mudimel vaithidum. Adikkondu yen mudimel vaithidum. Un adikkondu yen mudimel vaithidum. That Amman, that Veerattanathar, he kept his adi on my mudi, on my head. What to say? So this is how the Lord has been praised. The Ishvara here has been praised by all the three Shaivite saints. So this is all we have for today. I hope you enjoyed this session. Do keep watching the sessions on Subhu's Corner. Do like, subscribe and share with interested people. Until we meet next, Namaskara.